Tonight on WBZ News at 11, with more ice fishing and pond hockey starting to take place, we are taking a closer look at just how safe it is to be on the ice. You're going to hear what rescue teams have to say about those activities. Much more coming up at 11. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next.
We're updating breaking news all the time, streaming on CBSBoston.com. Tonight, the U.S. puts more than 8,000 troops on heightened alert for possible deployment to Eastern Europe as tensions with Russia intensify. President Biden meets with our European allies as the U.S. and NATO send military might into the region in hopes of stopping Vladimir Putin from entering Ukraine. A wild day on Wall Street. The stunning comeback after the Dow dropped 1,000 points. The school mask debate. School boards sue Virginia's new governor over his mask optional order. But in Los Angeles, students are told to upgrade their masks. Tonight, parents react. Breaking news, 3 firefighters killed in Baltimore after a row home collapses and traps them inside. I can't breathe. The federal trial begins for 3 former police officers accused of ignoring George Floyd's pleas for help. End of affirmative action. The conservative-dominated Supreme Court will decide whether race-based admission to universities like Harvard is lawful. Deadly gun violence surges. Multiple police officers shot and killed as homicides spike nationwide. Gas price warning. Why your next trip to the pump may cost even more. And making history on the high seas as the first woman takes command of the USS Constitution.
This is the CBS Evening News with Norah O'Donnell, reporting from the nation's capital.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. There is a lot of news to get to on this Monday night, but we're going to begin with rising tensions in Ukraine and the threat of a possible Russian invasion growing by the minute. Here in Washington, President Biden held a video call with European allies this afternoon to discuss a common response to Russia's continued military buildup around Ukraine's border. NATO announced that it was putting forces on standby and is reinforcing Eastern Europe with more ships and fighter jets, a move that Russia denounced. And the Biden administration is considering whether to send several thousand U.S. troops and equipment to reinforce NATO. Meanwhile, the State Department has ordered the families of American diplomats to leave the country, and they've advised that non-essential American embassy personnel and private U.S. citizens should do the same. Also tonight, Speaker Nancy Pelosi wants a White House briefing on the Ukraine-Russia situation for Congress. So we have 2 reports tonight from here in Washington and from inside Ukraine. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is going to start us off from the White House. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Nora. A major shift in the White House's approach to the Russian standoff with Ukraine is now underway. While the president met with European leaders today to discuss a diplomatic solution, plan for new military deployments suggests much of Europe is now preparing for the possibility of a new war.
I had a very, very, very good meeting, total unanimity with all the European leaders.
President Biden today consulted with European allies in the Situation Room, readying thousands of U.S. troops for a possible mission in the region.
It's very clear that the Russians have no intention right now of de-escalating.
The Pentagon placed 8,500 troops stationed in the U.S. on alert, ready to deploy to NATO's eastern flank within days if the situation deteriorates.
We are not deploying them now. We are not saying diplomacy is dead.
But the administration ordered U.S. embassy families out of Ukraine and warned Americans not to travel to Russia, as Vladimir Putin sent more troops into Belarus, a possible invasion point, and carried out military exercises in the Baltic Sea. After this weekend, is he more or less concerned about the possibility of a Russian invasion of Ukraine?
He said last week that military action by Russia could come at any time. That remains his point of view.
The U.S. is hoping its own show of force would deter Putin. Fighter jets could be sent to NATO countries as well as warships. The USS Truman arrived in the eastern Mediterranean today for long scheduled exercises. But NATO is also bolstering defenses, with the Danish, French, and Dutch sending jets and troops. The president's threat of punishing sanctions if Putin invades
Russia will pay a heavy price.
Hasn't forced the Russian leader to pull back the nearly 130,000 troops on Ukraine's border. And with more of his forces going into Belarus, the administration has shifted tactics. What happened then in the last few days that prompted the Pentagon to present specific potential troop deployments to the president? Or put another way, why now?
I wouldn't say it's a response to an abrupt moment. It's a part of an ongoing contingency planning process and discussion.
Also tonight, the president was asked by a Fox News reporter whether rising inflation would be a liability in this year's elections. He gave this testy response as reporters walked out.
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Tonight, the Department of Homeland Security warns Russia could launch a cyber attack against the U.S. if American and NATO forces respond to a Russian invasion of Ukraine. But U.S. officials say they see no signs that Moscow is currently preparing such an attack. Nora?
All right, the president caught off mic there, right on mic rather. Red O'Keefe, thank you. Well, diplomacy is not dead as officials from Russia and Ukraine are set to meet in Paris on Wednesday for talks with their counterparts from France and Germany. The eyes of the world are on Ukraine tonight, and CBS's Holly Williams is there.
I mean, if there's a Russian ground invasion, this village is potentially in the firing line.
In the village of Senkivka, under 2 miles from Ukraine's border with Russia, Tetiana Semak told us if there's an invasion, many people here will have nowhere to run. On the other side of the border are massed 127,000 Russian troops, according to Ukraine's government. Today, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky told the people of his country not to panic. Nina Belaya is 79, born when Ukraine was under Nazi occupation in the Second World War. She showed us her cellar, where she stores food for the winter. She has another purpose in mind if the Russians show up.
And you can take shelter down here if the Russians invade.
Ukraine is not a wealthy country. Now its freedom and its young democracy are threatened by its colossal neighbour. And what some say are President Vladimir Putin's ambitions to create a new Russian empire. Tomorrow we're expecting another shipment of emergency military assistance from the US, including munitions, to arrive here in Kiev. Nora.
Thank you, Holly Williams. Well, it was a roller coaster ride of a day in the stock market. Fears over what's going on in Ukraine, along with questions over the Federal Reserve's plan to curb inflation, sent stocks into a free fall, with the Dow down more than 1,000 points by just after noon. But after a late-day rally, all 3 indexes closed up in positive territory. All right, we're going to turn now to COVID, where another fight over restrictions is headed to court. CBS's Meg Oliver reports from outside a school in Arlington, Virginia, where the battle over masks is pitting parent against parent.
There's a face-off over face coverings in Virginia public schools after the governor's executive order letting parents opt out of school mask mandates took effect today.
It's parents that should decide the health measures taken for their children.
And many parents agree. This morning, a group of them in Stafford County arrived at their children's elementary school with the intent to send them in without masks. Despite the district's policy, 6 families were turned away and offered virtual lessons instead.
There is no doubt that masks have played a role in our children's lack of education, and those masks are directly impacting their ability to learn.
But 7 county school boards have filed a lawsuit against Governor Youngkin, seeking to block the executive order. The lawsuit represents more than 350,000 students across Virginia, arguing that the state constitution gives local school boards the authority to enact policies that protect the health and well-being of students and staff. It also cites a state law requiring school systems to follow CDC health guidelines, which recommends universal masking in schools regardless of vaccination status. Amber Bomer, one of 13 parents in a separate lawsuit, has long COVID and asthma.
We are fighting for all of the children of Virginia and all of the teachers and the parents and all of the immunocompromised individuals who work and attend the schools within our school system.
Chris Wilson, a father of 2, also supports mask mandates.
Not a problem, and the kids support it. They know it's the right thing to do. We also know this is not a forever decision. This is a temporary decision.
Here in Virginia, the lawsuits ask the mask mandate remain in place until the court reaches a decision. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles today, students were required to upgrade their mandatory masks to something other than non-cloth with a nose wire. Nora?
Meg Oliver, thanks. Well, now to some sad news out of Baltimore. We are learning tonight that 3 firefighters were killed and 1 remains in critical condition and on life support after getting trapped inside a vacant row house. They were responding to a fire when it partially collapsed early this morning. People gathered outside the hospital to say farewell to the fallen. The cause of that fire remains under investigation. All right, tonight, the pursuit of justice in the murder of George Floyd has reached a federal courtroom in St. Paul, Minnesota. 3 former officers are accused of violating Floyd's civil rights by ignoring his desperate pleas for help. Here's CBS's Mola Lenghi.
I can't breathe. You're doing fine. You're talking fine.
Today, prosecutors said the 3 officers didn't lift a finger when George Floyd said he couldn't breathe at least 25 times, while Derek Chauvin kneeled on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes.
I can't move.
In their opening statements, prosecutors insisted it was more about what the 3 former Minneapolis police officers did not do than what they did.
That 2 officers, Tutau and Alex King, failed in their duty of stopping a police officer they see using excessive force. Tao, King, and Thomas Lane are charged with denying Floyd's civil rights by not providing the first aid that could have kept him alive.
What they're trying to say is that Chauvin did it all on his own, and they, meaning the other defendants, were not trying to help Mr. Chauvin violate Mr. Floyd's rights.
Just gonna let him keep his hand on his neck, bro?
Prosecutors allege during Floyd's deadly arrest in May of 2020, Tao held bystanders back while King kneeled on Floyd's back for 8 minutes and Lane held down Floyd's legs. Lane can be heard twice asking Derek Chauvin if they should reposition Floyd.
Another defense attorney, Thomas Plunkett, called Floyd's death a failure by the Minneapolis Police Department and a lack of adequate training.
When you use that argument, it's almost like you're saying, yes, this is true, he did it, but he wasn't properly trained.
Well, Thomas Lane and Alex King were relatively new to the Minneapolis Police Department. They'd been on patrol for less than a week when George Floyd was killed. Lane's attorney said today that Lane will testify in his own defense, though it's still unclear if the other 2 officers or if Derek Chauvin will testify during this trial, Nora.
Mola Lenghi, thank you. Washington is still buzzing over the bombshell announcement on CBS's Face the Nation that the Trump administration had a plan that would have authorized the Department of Defense to seize voting machines in several battleground states. CBS's Scott McFarland has that and today's news from Capitol Hill.
In the courthouse in Plano, Texas, prosecutors accused Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes of using force to stop the peaceful transfer of power and said he must remain in jail pending trial. Lawyers revealed that Rhodes, the alleged coordinator of the Oath Keepers' assault on the Capitol, is also cooperating with the January 6th committee, making him the latest key figure to do so. CBS News has confirmed the committee is investigating a draft executive order circulated by some in the Trump administration that would have ordered the Pentagon to seize voting machines from several battleground states where they alleged fraud took place.
We are concerned that our military was part of this big lie on promoting that the election was false.
The order, which was never signed by former President Trump, would have also involved the Department of Justice. Thompson revealed Sunday that former Attorney General Bill Barr has had a voluntary conversation with the committee.
So if you are using the military to potentially seize voting machines, even though it's a discussion, the public needs to know. We've never had that before.
Also tonight, a Georgia court has granted local prosecutors' request for a special grand jury to investigate whether the former president tried to interfere with Georgia's 2020 election results. Mr. Trump has referred to that as a political witch hunt. Nora?
Scott McFarland, thank you. Today, the mayor of New York City announced a crackdown on illegal guns like the one used to kill a rookie officer and critically injure another officer in Harlem Friday night. Tonight, police here in Washington and Texas are searching for gunmen who targeted officers as well. We get more from CBS's Jeff Pegues.
When New York City police officers Wilbert Mora and Jason Rivera responded to a domestic call in Harlem, a barrage of gunfire greeted them in an apartment hallway. Rivera was killed. and Mora is in critical condition. In Houston, Corporal Charles Galloway was ambushed during a routine traffic stop after a suspect who was still on the run emerged from a vehicle, firing a gun, riddling the squad car with bullet holes.
This is a ruthless, savage execution.
A manhunt is also underway in Washington, D.C. for the suspect who shot an officer Sunday night.
He pulled a firearm, fired several shots about officers.
Is there such a thing as a routine call?
No, not at all. Every single incident has the capacity to turn deadly.
Deadly violence sparked by illegal guns, striking down officers and people on city streets. A steady flow of weapons into major cities. New York's mayor says police took more than 6,000 guns off the streets last year.
It is illegal to carry a gun in our city, yet our police officers take them off the streets every day in record numbers.
The suspect accused of killing Officer Rivera died today after being shot at the scene, where police say he was armed with this illegal gun, equipped with a high-capacity magazine capable of holding 40 rounds. Police also say they found a loaded, illegal AR-15 assault rifle under the suspect's mattress. Officer Jason Rivera, 22 years old, he grew up in New York City. At the beginning of his career, he was asked why he wanted to join the police force. He said that he wanted to see better relations between community and police. Nora.
Morning, all those officers. All right, Jeff Pegues, thank you. Well, still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, a warning from AAA about rising gas prices and why they're going up. And remember, we shared this school principal story on CBS. Well, now he's going to the Super Bowl.
It's a 13-hour flight. That's not a weekend trip.
15 minutes.
Oh, wow, I gotta take off. Now, you downloaded the TD Ameritrade mobile app so you can quickly check the markets?
Yeah, actually, I'm taking one last look at my dashboard before we board.
Excellent. And you have Thinkorswim mobile?
So I can finish analyzing the risk on this position.
You two are all set. Have a great flight.
Thanks.
We'll see you. Ah, they're getting so smart.
Choose the app that fits your investing style.
I don't just play someone brainy on TV. I'm an actual neuroscientist, and I love the science behind Nariva Plus. Unlike ordinary memory supplements, Nariva Plus fuels 6 key indicators of brain performance. More brain performance, yes please. Nariva, think bigger.
Denture wearers can go wild with wildly adhesive C-Bond denture seals. Get 75% stronger all-day hold thanks to gradual release technology. Go wild. C-Bond. Wildly adhesive.
Do you take aspirin? Plain aspirin could be hurting your stomach. New Vazalore is the first liquid-filled aspirin capsule clinically shown to cause fewer ulcers than plain aspirin. Vazalore is designed to help protect, releasing aspirin after it leaves your stomach, where it is absorbed, to give you the benefits of life-saving aspirin to help prevent another heart attack or stroke. Heart protection with your stomach in mind. Try new liquid-filled Vazalore. Aspirin made amazing.
Allergies with nasal congestion overwhelming you? Breathe more freely with powerful Claritin D. Get fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, including nasal congestion, so you can breathe better. Claritin D. Breathe better.
We are here. For new homeowners, a football game can really bring out the parent in them.
It's smart we park near the exit.
Absolutely. There you go.
That way.
Let's put away the parking talk maybe for a minute.
Parking is where the money is, though. You imagine what this place pulls in on parking alone?
All right, no more talking about parking lots.
A lot of these are compact spots.
It's not pretty.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
We still planning to head out around the third quarter?
Let's not talk about leaving before we're actually at the game.
Tums versus Mozzarella Stick. When heartburn hits, fight back fast with Tums Chewy Bites. Fast heartburn relief in every bite. Crunchy outside, chewy inside. Tums Chewy Bites.
Tonight, AAA warns fuel prices will likely continue to rise. Regular gas is now averaging $3.33 a gallon, compared to $2.40 a year ago. Crude oil prices are near a 7-year high, directly impacting gasoline and home heating fuels. AAA says the unpredictability of the pandemic is going to keep those prices up. The conservative majority Supreme Court has agreed to hear a challenge to the consideration of race in college admissions. The lawsuits accuse Harvard University and the University of North Carolina of discriminating against Asian American applicants in an effort to promote diversity. Well, a decision against the schools could mean the end of affirmative action in college admissions. All right, tonight, an elementary school principal that we told you about is going to the Super Bowl. News reports showed Principal Joseph Uwe vacuuming and mopping at his school after hours amid nationwide staff shortages. We showed you those here on the Evening News. Well, today, the Las Vegas Raiders surprised Uwe with 2 Super Bowl tickets, thanking him for his contributions to the community. And very well deserved. Coming up next, history on the high seas. We sit down with U.S. Navy Commander Billy Farrell.
If you can't watch the CBS Evening News, you can listen. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Sponsored by Prudential.
These are the faces of Listerine. The face of millions of germs zapped in seconds. The face of clean. The face of whoa. Some are of intensity. Others, joy. All are of Listerine. Feel the whoa.
I got a hunch, like me, your home means a lot.
I love my home. I love my family.
You want to have the grandkids over. You want to have the family over. You want to say, this is my place. Look it, I'm right next to the water.
Call AAG today and find out if a reverse mortgage loan can help you eliminate monthly mortgage payments, pay for living expenses, and even high-interest credit card bills. Call now, 800-721-7869.
How did you come across the whole idea?
I think Dad thought it would be something that would help us in the future.
I sat down with my son, who's a financial advisor, and he told me about reverse mortgage.
And I went right to my attorney, Michael, who I've known all my life, and told him what happened. And he said, I know what you should do. You should get a reverse mortgage.
If you're 62 and own your home, AAG could help you get the right loan for extra retirement money. Call today for your free, no-hassle reverse mortgage guide. Call now, 800-721-7869.
So you found AAG?
It allowed me to live in my home and not have to pay payments.
Something happened where I was able to connect with AAG representative, and when I did, I saw the difference between a really good connection with a mortgage company and feeling like you were doing something that really was right for you.
I looked up different companies and I saw this AAG and went over with their
That's the one.
That's the one. I looked at that and I said, this is going to make everything come true. And what was so great about it is my grandson and my grandkids are just really right up the street.
Don't wait. See if a reverse mortgage loan is right for you. Call now, 800-721-7869.
BuyAToyota.com is Toyota's official website for deals with the most comprehensive selection of Toyota offers available. You'll see every official Toyota deal out there, including offers not seen on TV. Plus, you can search inventory and get a free independent trade-in value. Right now, see an all-wheel drive RAV4 offer of $2.49 for $60 that includes Toyota Safety Sense technology and 2 years no-cost maintenance. BuyAToyota.com when you officially want the best deal. Toyota, let's go places.
For everything news and everything Boston, join Lisa Hughes, David Wade, Eric Fisher, and Steve Burton. WBZ News, every night at 11.
For the first time in its 224-year history, the USS Constitution has a woman as commander. CBS's Nancy Chen sat down with Commander Billy Farrell.
Launched in 1797 as one of the Navy's 6 original frigates, the USS Constitution's history is American history.
It is an honor to introduce Commander B.J. Farrell.
And now a new order, as Commander Billy Farrell becomes the first woman to serve as captain.
There's only 76 other people in history that have commanded this ship, so.
And now you're going to be the 77th.
Correct. So it's an amazing feeling.
The 39-year-old was second in command of a guided missile cruiser before her new assignment. President George Washington ordered the ship to be built, and only men have been in charge. until now. The Constitution still sails at least once a year. A third of its active duty crew, women.
It's such a special opportunity, not just for the ship, but the Navy as a whole, especially having all the public here. They get to see that there's a female leading us.
Docked in Boston, the ship hosts more than 500,000 visitors annually. As a teenager, Farrell was one of them.
What would you tell that young woman today?
Even if I told her that one day she would be commanding the ship, she wouldn't believe me. So I think I would just tell my younger self to just keep doing your best, and you'll find yourself in some unusual places.
Taking the helm and commanding a new course in history. Nancy Chen, CBS News, Boston.
I like that story. We'll be right back.
People everywhere living with type 2 diabetes are waking up to what's possible with Rybelsus. The majority of people taking Rybelsus lowered their blood sugar and reached an A1C of less than 7. Rybelsus isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Rybelsus if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if allergic to it. Stop Rybelsus and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Rybelsus with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Wake up to the possibility of lower A1C with Rybelsus. You may pay as little as $10 for up to a 3-month prescription. Ask your healthcare provider about Rybelsus today.
Get help managing your money for the life and years ahead with Fidelity Income Planning. We'll look at what you've saved, what you'll need, and build a straightforward plan to generate income even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Along the way, we'll give you ways to be tax efficient. And you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time without the unnecessary fees. We'll help you go from saving to living.
Age-related macular degeneration may lead to severe vision loss, and if you're taking a multivitamin alone, you may be missing a critical piece. Preservision. Preservision AREDS 2 contains the only clinically proven nutrient formula recommended by the National Eye Institute to help reduce the risk of moderate to advanced age.
Preservision is backed by 20 years of clinical studies.
And it's from the eye experts at Bausch & Lomb.
So ask your doctor about adding Preservision and fill in a missing piece of your plan.
Like I did with Preservision.
Manhood looks different from guy to guy, but when yours bends in a different direction, you might feel bothered by it. So talk to a urologist, because a bend in your erection might be Peyronie's disease, or PD. It's a condition that involves a buildup of scar tissue, but it's treatable. Xiaflex is the only FDA-approved non-surgical treatment for appropriate adult men with Peyronie's disease. Along with daily penile stretching and straightening exercises, Xiaflex has been proven to help gradually reduce the bend. Don't receive if the treatment area involves your urethra, or if you're allergic to any collagenase or any of the ingredients. May cause serious side effects, including penile fracture or other serious injury during an erection, and severe allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Seek help if you have any of these symptoms. Do not have any sexual activity during and for at least 4 weeks after each treatment cycle. Sudden back pain reactions after treatment may occur. Tell your doctor if you have a bleeding condition or take blood thinners, as risk of bleeding or bruising at the treatment site is increased. Talk to a urologist about what your manhood could look like. Find a Xiaflex-trained urologist at bentcarrot.com.
My hygienist cleans with a round head. So does my Oral-B. My hygienist personalizes my cleaning. So does my Oral-B.
Oral-B delivers the wow of a professional clean feel every day.
Liz, you nerd, cough if you're in here.
I took Mucinex TM for my phlegmy cough.
What about Rob's dry cough?
Works on that too, and lasts 12 hours.
12 hours? Who studies that long?
Mucinex DM relieves wet and dry coughs. The #1 brand doctors trust.
And tomorrow.
So does my Oral-B.
Oral-B delivers the wow of a professional clean feel every day.
Liz, you nerd, cough if you're in here.
I took Mucinex TM for my phlegmy cough.
What about Rob's dry cough?
Works on that too, and lasts 12 hours.
12 hours? Who studies that long?
Mucinex DM relieves wet and dry coughs. The #1 brand doctors trust.
And tomorrow, why Americans are paying such a high price for that morning glass of OJ. And tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, the premiere of Eye on America, a new weekly show featuring inspirational stories about Americans. Download the CBS News app to watch. That's tonight's CBS Evening News. Good night.
New year, new savings during Blind